Wagner fighters reflect on failed rebellion with resentment and uncertainty in Half Patriot, Half Traitor. Can I kill my friends? In the events of June 24th, at the meeting of the rebel mercenaries led by Wagner Group leader Yevgeny Prigozhin in Moscow, Russia seemed to be on the brink of war and Vlad was suffering from this problem. Former Wagner soldier Vlad, who wanted to change his name for security reasons, now serves in the Russian army and fears that his former comrades will be sent to defend the capital. At the end of the offensive, Prigozhin and his men reached an agreement to go into exile to Belarus, and 4 former and current Wagner fighters interviewed by the Moscow Times stirred feelings of rebellion and its impact on the future of private military companies. Like another former official, 29-year-old Vlad accused Prigozhin of pitting the Russian army against each other to gain courage in the conflict with the Russian Ministry of Defense. Vlad, who said he joined Wagner to defend his country, said, "I will not allow myself to point my finger at our people in the sense of our country, and not because I sympathize with Prigozhin. My friends and I fought for our country, not for a madman and his own ambitions." Roman, 35, another former Wagner mercenary from Moscow. Roman decided to leave his finances to join Wagner last year. "My country is at war and I can't stand it," said the former soldier who served on the Ukrainian front for 9 months, as he walked with the soldiers from Popasna to Bakhmut. For his services he was awarded the Black Cross, one of Wagner's military awards. Working in the shadow of international conflicts for many years and known for their brutal and repressive policies, the Wagner and Prigozhin group played an important role in Russia's influence on Ukraine. Roman and Vlad said they were surprised when Prigozhin declared a coup against Minister Sergei Shoigu and ordered to seize the southern city of Rostov-on-Don. Although they did not agree with Prigozhin's treachery, they accused the top officials of the army of allowing the conflict with Wagner to escalate to this point. Vlad, referring to the damage to the name inflicted by Wagner in the attack of Prigozhin, said, "Due to their negligence, the most prepared soldiers of our country suffered. If my Iron Cross once made me 100% patriotic, I am now half patriotic and half traitor," said Roman. Although the attack ended in less than 24 hours, it still caused serious casualties. About 15 Russian soldiers were killed, including some pilots, and a lot of oil was destroyed. Criticizing Prigozhin's deviation for not achieving anything, Roman said, "Our friends are killing each other. A lot of military equipment is destroyed, people are afraid, not to mention the damage to Russia's reputation in the region. General Parquet is still there," Roman said, referring to the corrupt and inept military leader. Prigozhin's main task is to destroy. Unlike Roman and Vlad, other former workers say they are loyal to Prigozhin, like Malik, 29, who wore a hat and graphic t-shirt a week after the attack. St. in Petersburg. "It doesn't stop, I'm still my country favorite," said Bakhmut veteran Malik, commenting on his outfit. The shrapnel wound on his arm had just healed. "All Rostov supports Wagner and Prigozhin," demanded Gotsy. "Prigozhin did the right thing, did a lot for the country, and I don't think Shoigu did anything useful." Some officials said they still wanted Prigozhin's transfer to Prigozhin could lead to a change in the country's military leadership, which they accused of corruption and lack of capacity. After months of conflicts with Russia's military leaders, the head of the Wagner Group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, stepped up the struggle by ordering the workers to occupy the port city of more than 1 million people. Commander Wagner said they had crossed the Ukrainian border and were ready to fight the Russian army to the end. I went to the headquarters of the Southern Federal District, and at every intersection there were armed Wagnerists, and the headquarters itself was surrounded by soldiers and tanks with guns pointed at the house, said Ivan. Ivan said that despite the military occupation, the atmosphere in the city is calm. The presence of heavy soldiers did not seem to bother the villagers who were taking pictures and talking to the missionaries. Ivan said he shot a video of a careless guard sweeping the road with a tank. When I returned to the city at midnight, a lot of people, families with children, Wagner and Russian flags were waving, he recalled. They loudly support the Wagnerists, they give them cigarettes, they hug and shake hands. Now every Rostov woman has a picture of a tank. At midnight, after being so proud of the peasants, they wrote it on a piece of paper, they came quickly. Went too fast. Today everything is in the hotel in Rostov. But after a deal seemed to have been made with the help of Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, Wagner's convoy stopped 200 kilometers, 124 miles, from Moscow. Lukashenko is a friend of Russian President Vladimir Putin, and Prigozhin maintains close relations with the Kremlin leader. The criminal-turned-oligarch is referred to as Putin's chef because of his regular promise of restaurant and culinary activities from the Russian government. This week's demonstration confused observers of the Russia-Ukraine war with the Russians themselves. It confuses me, Alexei Krapikhin, Liberal Party Yabloko member, told Al Jazeera. When I heard Wagner crossed the border, I thought, okay, let's go, there will be some big changes in Russia, but not for the better. As some dissidents, I cannot say that I am happy that Prigozhin has come and will destroy Putin. Historian Ian Garner told Al Jazeera that the Russians were following the story with passion as unprecedented events unfolded and the Telegram channel was drenched for information. However, we are not interested in one side of the conflict. Liberal Russians do not use the opportunity to oppose Putin or the war, but liberals also do not like to rush to improve the barrier to avoid the enemy first. Wagner. Russian state-sponsored media gave wide coverage to Saturday's attack, but avoided blotting out the flaws, at least for the first time, and 5 pieces of invisible white powder were found at the time. But after it was announced that the charges against Prigozhin were dropped, the news disappeared from the website. Investigative journalists have since managed to find a list of passports and links to Prigozhin's activities.